Greetings and love. Welcome one and all to the Sufferer's Choice. It's a great pleasure to be here. Ramp Up Radio, live and direct. Big up to the maximum to Slicks. Myself, STRYDA in the hot seat, alongside my right-hand man, DIGISTEP, full Dubkasm duo inside. We kickstart dubplate style as Shanti Sela meets Dubkasm. Forwards ever and backwards never with this style, yeah? Greetings, rally round, tell your friend, hit share, and let us know you're out there. Greetings, crunch with the needle, so we love it. Strictly vinyl, right through. Dubkasm, blessed love. Big up to Benji. Man like a Shanti Sela every time. Greetings, Abba Shanti. Jubilant. Article vibes. Greetings, JT Kabila Amlak. Yes, my brother. As that one fades away, I want to just send greetings and love to each and everyone coming through. It's great to see everyone flashing up on the screen. Love that to the maximum. If you could hit share, let people know. Remember, this is a Facebook thing, a Facebook stream. So the more people that hit share and comment, the more interaction, the better is what we're saying, yeah? Myself and Digi in the hot seat, Ramp Up Radio for the next couple of hours. We're going to be featuring our new album, so later will be greater. In the meantime, we continue to ride. White Label from many moons ago.
Arise, all ghetto opiums. Special request to all the complete jungle heights. Babylon, fire, burn!
Fire, burn!
Don't let nobody put you down, put you down, put you down. Stop the fighting when we should be united under the stars of Jah. We must see this life on the ground floor level and ask ourselves, where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Down here in a Babylon, people can't get no food to eat. Bad drugs on the corner, the youths are dying on the streets. And they say we're living in a civilization where there's no justice will bring pure frustration. Down in the ghetto, let me put things right in the ghetto. One more love in the ghetto, ghetto. Ay, 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 ay. Peace and love in the ghetto. To all of my brothers in the ghetto. Stop the war in the ghetto, ghetto. Ay, 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 ay. Watch me. We're living in a state of emergency, so let me fight, fight, fight for we humanity. Singing for the next generation. We got to feed them with the right vibration. Let them see the power of the Most High. Let them feel the power and the glory. It's time to save your soul, and it's time for right to take control. To all of my brothers in the ghetto, stop the war in the ghetto, ghetto. Ay, 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 ay. To my sisters in the ghetto, one more love in the ghetto. Need the love in the ghetto, ghetto. Ay, 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 ay.
Article respect goes out to a band like Blood Shanty. Every time. Track entitled Love in the Ghetto.
Yeah, I have to watch them.
Look at this. Watch the heathens today amongst I. They come in different shapes and sizes and colors. All they want is to take a bite and lead you on the road to destruction. Crisis will put a smile on their face. Badness is what they want. They'll even take the blame and put on I and I, 'cause they don't want the unification in the ghetto. Let me show some love in the ghetto. To all of my sisters at the ghetto, ghetto. Ay, 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 ay. To my brothers at the ghetto, we need the love in the ghetto. Show some love in the ghetto, ghetto. Ay, 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 ay. Educate the youth, educate.
Summer's choice, you don't have to pay no price. Seen? What a show nice.
Arise, all ghetto opians. Special request to all the complete jungle heights. Babylon, fire, burn!
Don't let nobody put you down, put you down, put you down. Stop the fighting when we should be united under the stars of Jah. We must see this life. Where do we go from here?
sure nice.
Civilization where there's no justice will bring pure frustration. Down, 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 ghetto, 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 ghetto. Ay, 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 ay. Ghetto, 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 ghetto. Ay, 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 living in a state of emergency.
Bass on this one coming through. Heavy in the studio, so much so that the camera fell off the shelf. Greetings to Arnold, big up to the Netherlands crew in tune. Hold tight to Anton. Looking forward to the album preview, big up. Nice one, Emily. Easy Jimmy in Berlin. Hold tight, Johnny in Spain. Emmanuel over in Texas. Enough respect to Flavio.
We'll put a smile on their face. Badness is what they want. They'll even take the blame and put on I and I, cause they don't want the unification.
In the ghetto. Life is rough and life is tough. Sounds of the sufferer's choice. Rootsman's voice, y'all. Back to the shouts. Enough love to the McGann family, long-time listeners. Good to be in your kitchen once again. Yeah, as that one just ends raw. Big up to all the Shantyites. Digi just saying how he remembers playing that one live when he was the saxophonist in the Shantyites band. Many memories, many good years. Big up to the dub sessions in tune. Hold tight to Michael, to Rob, to Vashti, says she's loving the tunes, and hold tight to Alexander from California. And says he's really stoked to catch this. We're really glad you're catching it as well. If you want to shout and stuff, please leave the comments on the actual Ramp Up Radio feed, because that's what I'm looking at here on this glossy iPad. And big up to Slicks. These posh CDJs in the studio are proving really helpful to put these old cassettes that we've got here on my mobile phone as a little desk. Because Digi has brought with him his old 4-track, and the sampler pad, and we're going to be going inside some old cassettes a little later in the show as part of our album feature. In the meantime, we continue the musical ride. This one out of the collection, Rough, Tough and Dangerous. Always loved this one.
In the evening, we shall sit on the trees with our bazookas and sing songs of freedom. Them say Mandela free, but how could he be when South Africa is still in captivity? No more talks about talks, no more round table talks, no more talks about sanction. One way out, bus out.
Any which way, no time to wait, it's almost too late. Yes, bust out, any which way, no time to wait, it's almost too late. Them back we back against the wall, with them so slav, pass laws, flaw laws, useless we ball, cause years are rivers of tears, to no avail. One way out, bust out, yes. Bust out, any which way, no time to wait, it's almost too late. Yes, bust out, any which way, no time to wait, it's almost too late. Them hold we down with them systems, IMF, multinational, international conspiracy, political hypocrisy, naked brutality. With mega force, bust out, yes, bust out, any which way, no time to wait, it's almost too late. Yes, bust out, any which way, no time to wait, it's almost too late. Them cast the die, them lay the brick, the matter don't dry, them pen within them inner cities, Bantustan, raid rebellion. With bare fists, smash them armaments to bits, blood cry, blacken the sky, turn the earth red if needs be to be free. Bust out, yes. Bust out, any which way, no time to wait, it's almost too late. Yes, bust out, any which way, no time to wait, it's almost too late. Bust out, any which way, no time to wait, it's almost too late. Yes, bust out, any which way, no time to wait, it's almost too late. Them back we back against the wall, with them so slav, pass laws, flaw laws, useless with barbers, years are rivers of tears, to no avail.
From station to station, tell the nation. DJs from station to station, tell the nation. DJ STRYDA with the Suffrage Tribe Show. Shaka say so.
Such a dub, this. Militant style. Wherever you are, turn up your system now. Let your neighbors know, Sufferer's Choice. One off tonight. Greeting to Zoran, tuned in from Canada, Toronto, or the Massive. Easy Deng Deng, or the Swedish Ites in tune. Hold tight Dub Urban, Carmen, Sandil. Yes, I. But a special mention goes direct out to Italy. My Adrian Abashanti, I locked in. Long-time supporter of the Sufferer's Choice. Yes, King. Sis Habisha. Enough love every time, yeah? Yes, Simon. Heavy for true. Dubwise.
Station tell the nation, DJ STRYDA with the Sufferer's Choice Show. Shaka says so.
Vibration. That one from the collection. Remember we used to play that one as teens, Digi. Absolute killer 12-inch. Oku Anora and AK7 tune called Bus Out. Sufferer's Choice, live and direct. Now everyone's joined us and we settled in. Always takes that first half an hour to settle in. We're in the very warm Ramp Up Radio studio. Big up to Slicks each and every time. And we're going to take you on a musical journey. Enough American and Canadian ites in tune. Big up to Alfredo in Atlanta right now, tuned in. Big up to the Maximum, all those commenting. Enough love. This next one, fresh out just the other day. I'd like to say give thanks for sending through a copy. Always nice to receive new tunes. This one coming on a 10-inch. And I've heard this one for a while because my brethren JT has played this to me a couple of times and absolutely loved it from the beginning. Recorded on one of his trips to South America. And this one is entitled Mother of Song. Brand new and in your shops.
to station, tell the nation. DJ STRYDA with the Suffrage Child Show. Shaka say so.
DJ STRYDA, Sufferer's Choice. Shanty I say so.
Brand new, Mother of Song. Sufferer's Choice, STRYDA. To the world! Mystical vibration on this one. Love to Jaroots in Switzerland. Locked in, long time listener. Yes, my brother. Hope the family is well. Greetings to Bram over in Belgium. Yes, I. So this one comes on the KLA box label, KLA dub box label, and absolute killer, as you just heard. Played by many of the mighty sound systems right now, just touched down the other day. So big up to Kibela Amlak each and every time. This one, we flip the disc and come dubwise. Crunch with the needle, 10-inch press, yeah? This one, special request. Sufferer's Choice, Rootsman's voice. Rise up, Jose Gomez. Dubwise entitled Queen Marimba. Jeez. Meditation rock. And yes, we do talk over them because we want you to buy them. Support the thing. Yes, Austin, I hear you. True. Respect to Robin in Bexhill-on-Sea. Hold tight to Alexander. Greetings to the Bayesian stepper up in Norway. Love that, Malayan. How you mean? What a vibe. Ras Lion. Greetings, all Berlinites. Yes, John, you done know.
Sufferer's choice. Sufferer's choice.
Rise up all the Japanese-ites. Sounds of the mighty Massa. Rise up ABBA. Got a second copy from the producers. Of Rhythm Chango Records for you. Next time we link, yeah? Massa.
Sufferer's choice.
studio. No matter where you are, give thanks for lending your ears, yeah? Sufferer's Choice Special. Ramp Up Radio. As I lift up my adapter, here comes a different chapter. I say as I lift up my adapter. As DIGISTEP lifts up the adapter, here comes a different chapter. Kind of cramped in the studio, so we're juggling in a duo style, Dubkasm selection without objection. This one, dubwise style, yeah? Mighty Massa. Far East style, you know? So after this, we're going to showcase our new album. Keep it locked. In this modern era, where you can watch us as well as listen to us. It's a good job you couldn't watch us back in the day on pirate radio. Some filthy old yard. Rickety table. Raw setup. No cameras. Dearsy wearsy, I see you. Big up to the max. This one, Rhythm Chango Records. Hold tight, Hiroshi. And my Bim One brethren. Battering the reverb tank, as did you just said. Yes, Junior T. I know what those emojis are for. Camera ting, you know? Big up for keeping your show going, bro. Love it. Each one of us doing our thing over the decades. Pushing the music. Whether radio, sound system, record label, studio works, promoting, it's all valid. So yeah, this is a one-off Sufferer's Choice. So thanks to Slicks for the invite here to Ramp Up Radio, and great timing for us because for those who don't know, DIGISTEP and myself have just had a brand new album released. It comes on Peng Sound Records. Big up to the whole of the Bristol Peng Sound family, Ossia and Alex Tape Echo for doing yet again a wonderful job. Love releasing music with these guys. We have done since their very first release a good few years back. This album went live, available to the public on Monday gone, and copies have flown out, and we really give thanks for the support. So thanks for that. The upfront copies are all via Rewind Forward, and they'll be heading to usual outlets, distributors, shops and so on later this week. So look out for that one in your nearest record store. This is a dub album, and there's only one of the tracks, which I'm about to play, which has actually had a cut release before. There's 9 tracks. The other 8 are all original rhythms, so never heard before. So yeah, we hope you like the vibes. Right now, gonna play the title track, which is Shady Grove. Must big up Asian Stepper. Great that you're in tune. Your copy on its way. Bayesian heavily involved on this one. You may recognize it from the 12-inch release we had with Ryder Shafiq on vocal. A heavily dubbed version, courtesy of DIGISTEP in the studio. Greetings to Maroa and Ras B, all the Selassie family. Great that you're joining us. Blessed love. LP opener there, and a track entitled Shady Grove, which happens to be the album title. Shady Grove was a little spot on Ashley Road here in St. Paul's, just above Ajax Blues. People would play pool and hang around and stuff. It was closed down many years ago, We actually Googled it when we decided to call the album it. We thought, let's see if there's anything on it, and there's just kind of one picture of the police boarding it up, saying closing down this illegal drinking den, as they termed it. In the days and the era where gentrification has been fastly imposing itself on ghetto areas, which really shifts the community and changes the vibe. So this whole album is a tribute to that age of St. Paul's through the 70s, 80s and 90s particularly, that gave so many people inspiration, especially the nightlife it provided. So Digi, do you want to step up and say greetings to the people? Great that Digi's here, full Dubkasm duo. So yeah, bless up Digi.
Yes, greetings all listeners. Big up for tuning in. Give thanks for the support. Everyone who's been supporting the album so far, give thanks for that as well. So we're here, we're excited about the new album. We're going to just be running some previews of the new tracks off the album. You heard the first one, Shady Grove. A little backstory of this one, you got the crazy intro, and we tried with the dub album to start it with a bit of an atmospheric beginning. So what we did with that is use some Foley recorded in Berlin. STRYDA and I were with the Peng Sound guys in Berlin, and they took us up this mountain to a disused spy center, which was a kind of inside a radar dome on top of the hill, used for surveillance. And it was a kind of a spherical, crazy dome. And inside it had the most insane reverb we've ever heard, like flutter echoes flying all around the room. And I thought I would play you a little bit of the original raw recording so you can hear what it sounded like in all its glory. Happened to be running this off my old 4-track cassette recorder from when I was a teenager. We brought this into the studio to play some tape material, and this is run onto tape. What you're hearing there is the sounds echoing around the dome.
This one happens to be a dubwise special, dub plate style.
Yes, Digi, absolutely great, man. Excellent, just sharing those vibes. That was a really memorable trip up there in the spy station in Berlin. And you know, some of those old dub albums would have some really kind of eerie and out there intros, and it was great that Digi wanted to put that on the start of ours for Shady Grove. So yeah, hope you enjoyed that off of his cassette there, this cassette recording. I think that was Ossia involved there as well, smashing something against the side of the building particularly hard to get that reverb. Anyway, we continue inside the album, skipping it on a couple of tracks. This one is entitled Magnum, and for all those who remember, Magnum 104 FM back in the day used to blast out from St. Paul's and Easton in Bristol. Pirate radio was a really serious force in that time. It brought people together. It was the way you'd find out about things, dances. Remember, this is pre-social media. Often, you know, not only promoting dances and playing the latest tunes and enjoying music, but when serious issues would happen in the community, pirate radio in Bristol was always very influential on sometimes stopping the community from rising up and doing damage when things happen, because it could people could talk into the homes of people and calm them down. There's been some really dread incidents, so this is the way we used to be informed of stuff. It was a very serious medium. So big up to Magnum 104 FM. There were many pirates, but we named this track after Magnum, and it features our good brethren Solo Banton. Listen this.
Well, I've been telling them for days, I've been telling them for weeks, I've been telling them for months and years and decades. We are the roughest, we are the toughest, and no guy should come and try test it.
sounds of Magnum. Yes, Junior T, don't know.
Tougher than them.
Many moods, many styles. We'll talk about your USB stick off air, Junior T. This one coming on Peng Sound, vinyl only label. Enough respect goes out to Rob. Just messaging saying only 2 tracks in and I've just copped my copy. Love that. Digi gone wild with the effects. So last year, this was days and days of work. Myself and Digi both have our families. I got my 2 kids. Digi's got his 2 kids, and life is very full on and hectic. So we're not in the studio all day or up until the late hours like some people might think. Is disciplined, limited days that we can balance with family life. So mixing this album and getting it all ready, it was week upon week because we only get 2 days in the studio. So yeah, they were great long days, and I got a big DigiStep up to the max mixing this one in a fine style. Going back to Magnum, as that one was entitled Magnum after Magnum FM. One of the main DJs we used to listen to on pirate radio, Magnum FM, was a man called Skelly Roots, and yeah, big up to Skelly wherever you are. Skelly Roots used to run the Sunday afternoon Root show, and it was absolute killer. This is before the internet and before you could buy enough rare tunes on eBay or wherever people buy them, Discogs, whatever. It's before that time. Skelly also ran a record store, would be at the Watershed in Bristol selling tunes and sometimes go around the country. So he was really vital in spreading the Roots revival sound to us, particularly because we tune in every week, and you would be getting biscuits that you literally could not hear. And yeah, so we heard this tune that we're about to play off of an original cassette recorded off Magnum FM from Skelly, and then afterwards you'll hear what we did with the inspiration. We'd never heard this tune that Skelly's about to play until he played it on this radio show. I now proudly own a copy on 7-inch and have done for many years, but back then, yeah, this was a brand new sound to us, even though it was vintage revival. So yeah, listen to this, Skelly Roots, Magnum.
Wherever I drop my musical anchor, never you try to conquer. You may be hard, but you're only hanging on a piece of card. Until you are dead on the musical hanging tree. Come back!
I saw it come, you know. You're in tune to I Skelly Roots in the hot seat, Magnum 104 FM, going out live.
Tape hiss.
No posh thing, this one, just a straight Type 1. No chrome cassette, no noise reduction, no Dolby.
Sounds of Skelly Roots, a little clip off of the original cassette, Magnum 104 FM. Big up to Skelly wherever you are, man. And that tune absolutely inspiring us. That false rewind from the band, or maybe not false rewind. That mistake from the band actually happening twice. I absolutely always loved that. So did Digi, and it was something we always wanted to recreate. So on this album, there's a track entitled "Good Drummy." Featuring Blood Shanty on drums, and well, you can hear the connection. Revival style. It's a range of dubs on this LP. Crazy echoes here. Want to say anything about these echoes, did you?
This echo sound is something I struggled to create since a teenager. And the only way we could achieve it was by connecting our tape echo to my old 4-track, the same 4-track that's here. for some reason the circuitry on that made the echo feedback in the most ridiculously crunchy manner. So we actually run individual echoes onto cassette and back into the project. No compromise.
And as that one fades away on the wheels of steel, the tune was entitled Gode Drummy, and the title kind of has a double meaning because obviously it bigs up Blood Shanty, who's the drummer on that one, top ranking drummer from the UK, played with many of the greats over many years, so big up to Blood Shanty each and every time. But also, as this whole album has a St Paul's in Bristol focus, it's also a special livocation to the man called Drumbago, who anyone who lived in St Paul's or visited St Paul's will remember from back in the day. And Drummy lived right on the front line, and he was known for setting up Lee Perry-like sculptures in his front garden, plus stringing up large speaker stacks and blasting the ghetto with dub from his front garden. Drummy, he was an extreme character. He'd flip between being really calm and you'd have really deep reasonings with him on the street corner, and then suddenly you'd catch him on another vibe and he might lunge at you in a bit of a violent manner. He was very much like that, and he'd be seen riding around Frontline with a crash helmet on, often worn for protection, I think, because he knew he was going to upset some of the linesman and get a box. So yeah, big up to Drummy each and every time, wherever you are. There's many rumours about where he is. I think he might be back in Jamaica. But in that era, Drummy was one of the main, one of the most known figures in St Paul's. There's so many figures. Ghetto communities in that era had really prominent figures that and now Drummy was one of them in Bristol, so we big up Drummy to that absolute maximum. And that's a tribute to him, Gode Drummy. Next we're going to flip the album and play you the first track on side B, which is entitled Tarzan the High Priest, which is a special request to one of the first reggae sound systems in Bristol called Tarzan the High Priest, and is also a tribute to Bristol's rich legacy of reggae sound systems. The inspiration for how this one was mixed and approached comes from an album that really inspired Digi. So when you're ready, Digi, step up and tell the people about this one.
Yes, this album, A Dub Experience by Sly and Robbie, was a massive influence, as STRYDA said. The sound, the effects, the spaciousness, and the mixing, of course, was hugely influential. Paul Groucho Smikle, one of the unsung heroes of dub, who was also responsible for the Dub Factor by Black Uhuru. He was also an artist, a painter, and he did the artwork for A New Chapter of Dub by Aswad. This is one of the tunes off that album which directly inspired this next tune. Listen to the effects. What was great about Smikle is he would use digital effects but in a very analog way. So as opposed to the spring reverbs and the tape delays of the 70s, he had all of the latest digital stuff, having worked at Island Records and so on. And he used that in an incredible way. And you're going to hear this on the record. This is Destination Unknown. lied about the spring reverb, sorry. Incredible production.
Sufferer's choice. Sufferer's choice.
What you'd hear is a lot of gated reverbs, panning delays, reverse reverbs, and crazy modulation. The genius of Sly and Robbie. Mixed by Smichael. So this next tune, this is the first track on side B. As we said, there's a real significance to the positioning of tracks. The first track on side A of a dub album, it always grabs you and has the impact. And likewise, the tune on side B, the beginning of side B, also has an impact. And that's why we put this one at the beginning of side B. This is Tarzan the High Priest, named after Bristol.
From station to station, destination, DJ STRYDA with the Suffrage Child Show. Shaka says so.
Sufferer's choice. Sufferer's choice.
Yes, Jake, you don't know. Digi went in on this dub. Trust me, this was a vibe in the studio. About 25 cuts. Tarzan the High Priest, one of Bristol's, or if not the first real known sound system here in Bristol, and coincidentally the grandfather of Tricky was the owner. So these sounds would play in blues, and look how they inspired generations. Yellow P, my brother, all the Brazilian ites. This one is you.
This one happens to be a dubwise special, dub plate style.
As that one fades away on the wheels of steel. That one causing a stir. So we continue, going to play a couple more off the album and then continue with a couple of dubs at the end, and then we're out of here. Thanks for joining us and lending us your ears and sharing these vibes with us, yeah? So this next one, we go back to side A, and we're going to run a track, a track entitled Ajax Blues. Now, for anybody who was in St. Paul's back in the day, you just know what Ajax Blues is. We all hear about people throw the word shebeen around now. I hear it in grime a lot, and yeah, you know, a blues was a blues back then, and these were very small places, large stack of speaker boxes, a makeshift bar, and very dark, and absolute vibes would be generated in these spaces. So everyone enough people went to Ajax Blues. It was where you'd end up at the very, 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 very end of the night. And I was on Ragga FM, pirate radio back in the day. And a fellow radio presenter, Selector Watson, said to me, I can get you a set. I was only a teenager. And he said, I can get you a set. I'd never played out before. I'd only played on the radio. And he said, come down to my uncle's place. Anyway, his uncle was Ajax, and who ran Ajax Blues. So I ended up with my carrier bags full of records, going down to Ajax Blues. You'd go round a little back lane, and you'd approach the door. There was a little peep hole, spy hole, and people would pay £1 and go down the steps into Ajax Blues. So I played down there on a Sunday night, right through to the early hours. And I remember Watson running down and saying, play something lighter, it sounds like Shaka down here. Funnily enough, Drummy was there. I was playing Storm Is Coming, and he was skanking out. I ended up playing My Boy Lollipop and stuff because it had to be a bit lighter for the venue. But anyway, that was Ajax Blues, and this tune is named after that same place. So big up to Ajax each and every time. This is track 4 on the album, and and this one, you know, on enough of those old dub albums, there would always be a lover's rhythm, and you don't get that much. People who are expecting some, you know, just digital dubs on this one might be a bit disappointed, but this is a tribute to the real old school original dub albums. You'd always have a lover's rhythm, lover's rock rhythm dubbed, and so this one is our tribute, Ajax Blues. Featuring Bliss Zion on the vocal. Hold tight, Lexi. Ajax Blues. When man would dance with a woman. Those dark corners. Jeez. And you have to remember that enough of these spots were set up because in that time it was very difficult for the black community to. I've got black friends who told me in Bristol, elders who said it was pretty much impossible to walk in a crew. In a group of friends going into town and try and go into a bar or a club or whatever, it was always hassle. So enough of these places were set up for by the community for the community. People could go somewhere local for a drink and hear the tunes they wanted and feel okay. So these places were very, very important spots, and we've tried to make mention of all this just because so many things have changed, so many things are changing. And obviously with gentrification, you've got levels of it that it's obviously nice that some stuff's cleaned up and nobody wants crack being sold on the street corner and stuff. But it was really alienated the original community who made these areas what they were and can often no longer afford to live in them. So it's really complicated times right now, and communities shifted and it's a tough time. So we really send this one out to all original St. Paul's-ites. This one is a livocation, this whole album, to everyone from St. Paul's over the years. Those who've lived there and those who've been inspired by much of the nightlife there back in the day. So we continue the vibes. Talking of nightlife, there's another track on the album called Malap Dub. Big up to Dr. Gaffer. There's also a tune called Dr. Gaffer. It's called Gaffer's Yard, sorry. Gaffer was really crucial in playing a part in pushing the dub scene in Bristol in the 90s, and he ran a fortnightly event called Club Dub, a spin-off, obviously, of the famous London Dub Club. And Gaffer ran that at the Malap Club on Cheltenham Road, just on the edge of St. Paul's. And this one is a recording off of the 4-track again. DIGISTEP and I went to hear Mad Professor live and direct. You'd get local selectors passing through and sometimes some special guests from out of town. I remember I think it was the 17th birthday maybe. Mixman was down. It was a Mixman Black and Mix special. That was a killer session. And 90s we're talking about. And also another birthday one, I think, was this one maybe. Anyway, me and Digi went to this session. We're going to run a little section of it, followed by the tune, just to show you where some of the inspiration comes from. Yeah, special request, this one. Off of the 4-track. Sounds of Mad Professor with his live dub show, 90s, recorded in the Malap Club on Cheltenham Road. And yeah, big up to Asher on that one, because the original tradition was to always walk with your Walkman cassette and record every session. Literally, we were militant about recording every session. Like, you go to a Shaka dance back then, and Shaka would have a space on his table where everyone's little Walkman would be, with the red lights glowing up, recording the session. You'd skank out, and you know when 45 minutes was up, you had to go and turn your tape over. You'd always have about 5 tapes. Tape 5 was the killer dubs. So yeah, big up all the tape collecting, massive. That one was recorded by Asher, and I remember for Digi, a birthday present for Digi, because we'd both gone to the session, I reached back to the Malap at another event, and I asked Asher if he'd, I asked Skelly actually if he'd recorded, if he could get a recording, and he said, you need to talk to a man like Asher, and I did, and he got me that recording, and so we just thought we'd play a clip, because you can hear the vibes generated. You know, these sessions, you never know who they're inspiring and who they're moving, and yeah, this one is a tune entitled Malap Dub, special request to that era. Featuring Galgo. Same Bredo played trumpet on Victory. This one, Malap Dub. Steppers. Rhythm full of culture. Yes, I am.
Yeah, this next tune, track entitled Black Door. This is takes us right back to our teenage years when we used to walk through St. Paul's towards a session. This is in the early days when we first started reaching sessions like Jashaka, Bashanti, and all the root sounds coming to Bristol. When we were 16 years old, we went to see Jashaka playing at the Malcolm X Centre, and that was a life-changing experience, really. We went on to especially albums like the Commandments of Dub series that have definitely inspired these tunes. And this tune is really inspired by that feeling of walking through the night streets towards a session, and you slowly hear the bass and the rumble and the sirens approaching in the background as you get closer to the venue, and you feel that excitement and that adrenaline of reaching the session. And then you open the doors and you're just swamped by the amazing sounds. And yeah, Jashaka, this tune, direct inspiration.
From station to station, tell the nation. DJ STRYDA with the Suffer Stride Show. Shaka say so.
Choice, don't have to pay no price. See, what a show nice.
Track entitled Black Door. So for anyone in St. Paul's, you know what you'd go and buy at Black Door. I'll say no more. There's also a track on the album called Crystal Dove, another late night blues spot. In there till all 7 in the morning or whatever. Revival classics running. Yeah, it's a Crystal Dove, like I said. You'll be in there hearing hearing certain tunes. That's the last tune off the album we're going to run. Hope everyone's enjoyed it. Thanks a lot for the feedback. And yeah, these late night spots you go to. I remember, like Digi said, walking through the streets to get to a session. And I remember going to Malcolm X with my dad one time and saying, I said to him, yeah, it'd be cool. We went out for a drink first, and then walked up the road to the session. I said, yeah, this session was in the small hall Malcolm X. That's the first place I ever heard Abba Shanti, actually, 1994. That was a Gaffer promotion as well, Club Dub. And I'd literally never heard bass like that in my life. It was incredible. And the small hall, the Malcolm X, would really shake. I remember we went up the steps. Me and my dad went up the steps, and he said, "So it's not going to be too loud, is it? Like, he's picturing it like these old blues sessions." And as we got there, I said, "No, it'd be cool. And as we got up to approach the building, you just heard and it was they dropped the bass basically, and the whole building was vibrating. Anyway, he said he wanted to go for another walk around the block to kind of pluck up the courage to get going and be faced with that volume. But yeah, you'd be out till all hours. People would go down to town as teens, you'd go to town, and then your night would end at 2. But then those of us who knew, you'd go to the ends, and you'd be there till 7 in the morning, go to a session at Malcolm X, and then end up at somewhere like Crystal Dove Club. And we've got an insert with this album. It comes with a printed insert which explains enough of these stories and takes you into that world. Yeah. So we hope everyone enjoys the album and has enjoyed this journey with us. We're going to play a few more tunes still, but talking of those big dances, I'm talking like you go in and you'd hear big tunes and Dragon Stout bottles licking against the wall, calling for a rewind. The energy was intense. I just don't see so much of it now. It's so different. People barging through the dance with backpacks on and without a care in the world. It's very different, trust me. So when tunes like this would drop back in the day in a blues, boy, you'd know about it. Drop it. Special request, yeah, to them and those who know. 12-inch. Signal a tune. All St. Paul's Heights. You know.
We wanna go and dally. Bagaya.
Cheese.
We wanna go and dally. Bagaya. We wanna lick some Kali. Bagaya. We wanna lick some Kali. Bagaya. Bagaya. Me and my honey, my sweet little bunny, everything's sunny, better than money. We better hurry, but not to worry. Pepper and curry, you won't be sorry. I wanna see my mommy. Bagaya. I wanna see my mommy. Bagaya. I wanna meet my daddy. Bagaya. I wanna meet my daddy. Bagaya. 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 Plenty of lavish, Aki and selfish, women so stylish, and nobody's selfish.
Call them tunes big people music.
Idle and natty, double bit fatty,
Scratchulous dropped this one. Malcolm X Smallhall. Mr. Mention on the mic. What a heat.
I wanna hold my honey backyard. I wanna hold my
And we're talking about inspiration over a few decades.
We wanna know our country.
And as much as oldies like that from before our time have inspired us to the maximum, tunes like this from the 90s have equally inspired us. When these tunes would go off in these dances in St. Paul's back in the day, boy, murder.
Now the race is not for the swift, only who can endure it. Only the fittest of the fittest shall survive. And when you start to survive, just keep yourself alive. Sail, Selassie I know.
Sometimes the road gets too rough and you can't stand the pace. Can't keep up with the leaders, so get out of the race.
Though you try and try so hard, failure is your just reward. There is a lesson you must learn. Play with fire, you must get burned. The going is rough, it's gonna get rougher. The going is tough, it's gonna get tougher.
So if you are in doubt, it's time to get out and stop running your mouth. Hey.
It's a donkey, no business in a champion race. 3D yard, we come fi mash up the place. When you set it, no boy can't take it. Say who can't take it, better go on and left it. Tell the whole of them so we control them ticket. Tell the rest of them go and go empty the bucket. Or bend up your face, nobody try choke it. If you try choke it, you must kick it bucket.
Every day another imposter, one come take away with place. And everywhere we go, there's another one come pointing out with face.
Though they try to get us out, we've got no fear and we've got no doubt. We've got the talent and we've got the skill. We know the way and we've got the will.
The going is rough, it gonna get rougher. The going is tough, it gonna get tougher. And if a boy try a thing, he make like button. No judge me by me looks and no judge me by me color. There's a cut it wrong on the microphone center. Come and dance and not just roots and culture. DB DJ go and get turned over. Listen ragamuffin jam up every corner.
You check say we simple, check say we simple. Cause we no stay up on corner and idle.
You check say we simple, check say we simple. You want come take away with title.
The going is rough, it's gonna get rougher.
The going is tough, it's gonna get tougher.
If you are in doubt, it's time to get out and stop running your mouth. Hey!
It's a donkey, no business in a champion race. 3D yard, we come fi mash up the place. When they set it, no boy can't take it. Say who can't take it, better go on and left it. Tell the whole of them, say we control them ticket. Tell the rest of them, go and go empty the bucket. Or bend up your face, nobody try choke it. If you try choke it, you must kick it bucket.
Sometimes the road gets too rough and you can't stand the pace. Can't keep up with the leaders, so get out of the race.
Though you try and try so hard, failure is your just reward. There is a lesson you must learn. Play with fire, you will get
if
burned.
If a boy want take it, him have to come harder. Home tea, cutty, cocotti, run the border. You declare war, but we not take no prisoner. You start the fight, so we go and carry further. You too bright and you too out of order. If you want talk, so we must turn you over. This a cutty rank on the microphone center. When me come and dance, me come fi dash it in a culture. So don't come in me and me start pray to Jaja. Jaja give me strength and make me live longer. And the weak heart them go down. Remind me color. There's a cut it wrong on the microphone center. Come and dance and not just roots and culture. DB DJ go and get turned over. Listen ragamuffin jam up every corner.
You check say we simple, check say we simple. Cause we no stay up on corner and idle.
You check say we simple, check say we simple. You want come take away with title.
The going is rough, it's gonna get rougher.
The going is tough, it's gonna get tougher.
If you are in doubt, it's time to get out and stop running your mouth. Hey,
They say donkey no business in a champion race. 3D yard way come fi mash up the place. When they set it, no boy can't take it. Say who can't take it, better go on and left it. Tell the whole of them say we control them pick it. Tell the rest of them go and go empty the bucket. Or bend up your face, nobody try choke it. If you try choke it, you must kicky bucket.
Sometimes the road gets too rough and you can't stand the pace. Can't keep up with the leaders, so get out of the race.
Though you try so hard, failure is your just reward. There is a lesson you must learn. Play with fire, you will get
If
burned.
a boy come off in jam up every corner.
You check say we simple, check say we simple. Cause we no stay up on corner and idle.
You check say we simple, check say we simple. You want come take away with title.
The going is rough, it's gonna get rougher.
The going is tough, it's gonna get tougher.
If you are in doubt, it's time to get out and stop running your mouth. Hey,
They say donkey no business in a champion race. 3D yard way come fi mash up the place. When they set it, no boy can't take it. Say who can't take it, better go on and left it. Tell the whole of them say we control them pick it. Tell the rest of them go and go empty the bucket. Or bend up your face, nobody try choke it. If you try choke it, you must kicky bucket.
Sometimes the road gets too rough and you can't stand the pace. Can't keep up with the leaders, so get out of the race.
though you try so hard, failure is your just reward. There is a lesson you must learn. Play with fire, you will get
If
burned.
a boy want take it, him have to come harder. Empty, cutty, cocotti, run the border. You declare war, but we not take no prisoner. You start the fight, so we go and carry further. You too bright and you too out of order. If you want talk, so we must turn you over. This so cutty rank on the microphone center. When me come and dance, me come fi dash it in a culture. So don't come me knee and me start pray to Jaja. Jaja give me strength and make me live longer. And the weak heart them go down and shiver. This so cut the rank on the microphone center. Go catch 2 crayfish down at the river. Put on me pot it full of hot water. Fling in some yam and some Irish potato. Some carrot, turnip and even guava.
Yes, apologies for that. The stream cut out there. So yeah, hopefully you're back in tune. Anyway, little technical difficulty as we used to get on the pirate radio back in the day. Still continues. Anyway, big up to Slicks and Ramp Up Radio for allowing us into this studio and to spread the Sufferer's Choice vibe this evening. Mostly big up to all of you who have locked in for the last couple of hours. It's been great to be back on the air. Sufferer's Choice is returning at some point later this year. Waiting on the return of SWU FM. And yeah, big up to all those supporting Shady Grove, our new album on Peng Sound. Enough love to Peng Sound themselves for all the hard work. Trust me, they're over there at Rewind Forward, individually stamping up records and printing out inserts, and the attention to detail is lovely. They've told our story and released the music in a fine style. So we give thanks for that. And we're going to close with a track that we used to play as teens. When we go record shopping back in the day, I would always be picking up 7s and 12s mainly, and Digi was particularly the man collecting the dub albums. And we used to go around. There were numerous record shops in Bristol back then. We used to go around picking up tunes. And so yeah, this one's inspired by that. You can get our dub album from Rewind Forward at the moment, so log on to rewindforward.com and you'll see where to grab it. If not, it's in local stores very, very soon, and the support is always appreciated. Yeah, big up those still buying records and supporting labels, independent labels, and outfits such as ourselves doing our thing. Yeah. So yeah, it's been a pleasure, and this one is Meditation Dub. Run it, Digi. Pure memories on this. love with these albums is they can really take you to another space, you know. This one called Meditation Dub, and you can really hold a meditation on these dub albums. They're a journey. So we hope everyone enjoys the journey of Shady Grove. Great to have it out. We'll see you on the road. Various sessions ahead, Dubkasm. We're at Dub Camp this year, can't wait for that. And many other sessions. Look out on our socials. Enough different releases in the pipeline as well. Various labels and our own. But in the meantime, we've just been pushing the Shady Grove dub album vibe. So from myself, STRYDA, give thanks over the years, yes? Sufferer's Choice. It's a blessing to be on the airways again. Thanks for reaching out. Guidance and protection.
Yes, people. Just want to say thanks again to all listeners. Also big up everyone supporting the album. It's a very special album to produce and mix. We hope you can feel the energy and the love put into the music. Shady Grove. It's all about a vibe, a time and a place. Big up STRYDA, my main man. Dubkasm for years without fears. Guidance.